What if I just did the rest of the video like this? Is this what all the cool kids are doing? Because I've seen this before and I don't really get it. Hey guys, it's Olivia and I'm back with another video. So that intro was a bit crazy and kind of sort of didn't really have anything to do with this week's video, but before we get into this week's video, be sure to subscribe to my channel because I make new videos every Monday. I make anywhere from skits to rants to story times to pop socket videos. And with that all being said, let's get into this week's video. So as you can tell by the title of this week's video, the topic is identity crisis. So I'm going to be talking about the three identity crisisi that I don't know what the plural of crisis is, but I'm going to be telling you about the 3 times that I have gone through an identity crisis. So time number 1 was when I was about 12 years old. And so I was going through my drawers and I was just taking out clothes and refolding them and stuff. And at the bottom of one of my drawers, I found a card. And I'm assuming it's a card that one of my mom's friends gave to her when I was born, because on the front of the card it said, "Congratulations on your new baby girl." And I'm the only baby girl in this house. So I opened the card and it said, "To Grace and Olivia Grace," from whatever the person's name is. And so basically, my mom's name is Grace. And my name is Olivia Grace Henry. But the way that this person spelled my name was Olivia-Grace, as if my first name and my middle name were just one name. And so I began to think, wait a second, is my name Olivia Grace Henry, or is it Olivia Grace Henry? Like, do I not have a middle name? Have I not known my name this whole time? So then I went to my mom and I was like, I need to see my birth certificate. And she was like, why? I'm like, because I found this card, and I explained the whole thing to her. And she's like, your name is Olivia Grace Henry. And I was like, is it? Is it really? And she was like, okay, so you're gonna believe a card that's from someone that you don't even know over the person who actually named you. And I was like, well, if it's not that big of a deal, and if you're right, then why can't I see my birth certificate? And then she showed it to me, and my name is in fact Olivia Grace Henry. So crisis averted. And you might not think that that's that big of a deal, but think about it. Like, imagine if right now, regardless of how old you are, imagine if right now you found out that you didn't actually know your name. Excuse me, no. So, moving on to identity crisis number 2. So this was when I was about 14 and my dad was driving me home from track practice. And you know how in the 2 front seats there's a visor and there's typically a mirror on the other side? Yeah. So I was looking at myself in the mirror and I was just smiling at myself. And then I realized that I only have one dimple. One on this side, but not on this side. Like, this one's kind of sort of not really there. Like, this one is like an attempt at a dimple, but it's not actually a dimple. And so I was like freaking out, and my dad was the one driving. So I turned to him and I was like, did you know about this? And he was like, no. And he didn't really care. But the reason why it's a big deal to me is because literally every single person in my family has 2 dimples. And then here I am with one. And I was just like, I don't even have my family's trait. Like, what? Then, probably 2 or 3 months ago, I brought up the situation with my dad. Like, I talked to him about the time in the car and all that stuff, and then he was like, oh, like, I always knew you only had one dimple. Like, when you and the boys were growing up, we were always like, Peter has 2, Akil has none, and Olivia has 1. And if you're wondering who Peter and Akil are, those are my brothers. And so I was like, I don't remember that ever being said, but apparently he knew that I only had one. So I was like, back then, 4 years ago, when I asked you if you knew, why did you say you didn't know? And he was like, I don't know. And then he walked away. And I was like, okay, that. So, this is an identity crisis that I've had no choice but to get over because I can't change my face. So, I've learned not to be upset over things you can't change. Am I still a little bit upset about it? Yes, but you know what? I'll get over it. And identity crisis number 3. This one occurred more recently. This was when I was 17, aka last year. And it happened around this time of year. So, I was in calculus class at school, and it made absolutely no sense. And me, like, one of the things that I know that I'm good at is math. And calculus is a type of math. It's a stupid type of math because the answers aren't even answers. The answer is another equation. But whatever, that's not what we're talking about. So, calculus to this day makes no sense to me. I ended up having to drop the class because the information was just going right over my head. And so the other 2 identity crisisi, you know what I'm saying. The other 2 I can kind of like poke fun at, but this one like actually made me sad. Like I was actually sad for like a lot of days. Like I didn't want to go to school sometimes, and like even after I dropped the class, I was just like, what? This is what I'm supposed to be good at, and I was just constantly sad about it because that was like always a constant. Like I was good at math, that was my thing. Where has my thing disappeared to? But then in January, I got accepted into 3 schools for business. So obviously, I'm good at math because 3 universities think so. So even though my grade 12 calculus teacher doesn't think so, I'm pretty sure that university knows better than you. So in your face, grade 12 calculus teacher, I'm good at math. So, that is that. Those were the 3 identity crises that I went through. And yeah, at the moment, my identity is intact. I'm pretty in tune with myself. I know who I am at this particular point in time. But yeah, that's about it. That's all for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you think your friends will enjoy it, be sure to share it with them. All my social media links will be down below in case you want to follow me on there. Be sure to subscribe to my channel because I make new videos every Monday, and I'll see you next Monday with a new video. So, as you can tell by the title of this video, we are going to be... So, as you can tell by the title of this video... And we're back. Focus on my face. I don't know what the plural of crisis is, but we're going to be talking about... no!